All right, so let's talk about the battle with Canibus, right? I know you see my interviews with M80 where he's talking about that situation. Shout out to M80, that's my guy, man. What are your thoughts on that?
You know what? It's so crazy because at the time when all this was happening, and here's how cold, I told you I had a cold M80 story. This is how like slick and about his business and just shrewd and no nonsense and what a chess player M80 is. And I was taken aback at the time because I thought me being from LA and in the Bay Area, I was smashing as far as certain aspects of the industry that people might not have been privy to, but I hadn't encountered something like this quite yet. And this is still early on for me. I'm 30 years old. This is 2011. We're setting this up in early 2012. And so, first of all, Canibus is like the holy grail of battle rap at this time. Like, he's the most respected, coveted lyricist, and he's always battling. You know, in every verse is a battle. Even the intro to 2000 BC, his second album, is "I'll battle you on the net, I'll battle you on," you know what I'm saying? He'll battle you, but guess what? We ain't seen a single fucking face-to-face Canibus battle ever. I'm not saying they don't exist. When I'm a battle rap historian, I'm collecting footage from different eras, seeing shit that no one's ever seen before. You know, battles that are the thing of mystery, like the original Percy P and Lord Finesse, and shit that people don't know exists that I've seen footage of, but I can't verify. Can you, Panda? Have you seen?
No.
Okay. But he did have the hardest verses, you feel me? Like, you feel me? Before I signed a paper that freed slaves, I existed in the garden to eat and get and lifted, dick to eat before she was at his mistress. Before Christ created Christmas, I've been in lyrical fitness. You feel me? Like, we all knew that shit by heart from the top. So he was like a fabric of battle rap and is like a huge part of, like the influence of what we all listen to. So it was always he went back and forth with LL Cool J. He did this and that, and kind of Eminem, but no one had seen him battle. It was kind of like we didn't think it was something that was actually possible. M80, I met M80 years prior in 2007. So I first met M80. He was more on his MC shit, and he was running around with Killer Priest. I think he had maybe just started managing Priest or working with Priest. He ran into me at a few radio stations, doing some freestyles. He ran into the crew a couple times. We were in Herb Next 100 at the time. Like, I remember him showing love on that. He was like, "Oh, I see you everywhere." He's seen us down in Dago. I think at Copper Lounge we had a show. You feel me? Or Copper Lounge, and so we were over there. And around that time, he asked, because we had booked. Oh yeah, we had booked Killer Priest like for a couple of shows. I was running a venue in Oakland called 2232 MLK with my squad Delmar crew, and he had asked if we'd be interested in a verse with Killer Priest. I said, yeah. We had never bought a verse from somebody before. All of a sudden, he's quoting prices and like fucking faxing over contracts, and I'm just kind of like, whoa, like this is a little bit overwhelming. Like, we're not doing shit like this. We have features with Sean Price and Hyro, and nothing like this was how it went down. You feel me? We were just getting love or whatever. We wound up not doing the feature, and I kind of like fell out of communication with M80, but I always thought he was cool. Like, you feel me? I respected him. And so when this situation comes up, because what happened was this: one of the guys working for me at King of the Dot at Grind Time West, or King of the Dot West, Fresh Coast, was this dude, Christian. Christian, he has a relationship with M80. He winds up signing a deal with them. He's chilling with this dude, Dr. Zodiac. Dr. Zodiac was running around with Corrupt, with Shabazz and Disciple, with YG, with a gang of different rappers. You feel me? With Killer Priest, M80 wound up sleeping on bro's couch like on a drunken night. And Christian happened to be there because he's like living with the dude, editing for him. He had like all the army there. He said something about Canibus doing a battle. We wound up coming up with the bread. The homie, I'm like, oh, he came up with the bread, how we got it, boom. All of a sudden, and this is where I fuck up, I don't read the contract. Now, I send my deal points. This is what's I know that we as King of the Dot and I need. It's how green I am. I'm wet behind the ears as fuck. I'm sending, these are the deal points that we need for this contract, Black Dot. I send it over. Christian, he look it over, has his people look it over. He's like, oh, it seems like there's no red flags here. What I believe we agreed to is $10,000 up front and then a portion, like a back end split. You feel me? Now, apparently, $10,000 is just part of the deposit. And then within a certain amount of time, they're expecting allocations and bands here, 5Gs here, leading up to like 40 something, 50 bands at the event, right? Now, I'm like, so Organic is tripping. He's like, what the fuck? Like Lush, what is this situation you got us in? What is this fucking contract? Let me see this. We wind up seeing the contract again. And then Christian's like, talk to M80. Call M80. It's with him. I'm like, oh, M80? Oh, I know him. We cool from back in the day. Let me give this guy a call. You feel me? Like, so I call M80. He answers the phone. This is Matt. You feel me? Straight lawyer voice. You feel me? Like, this is Matt. You feel me? I'm like, M80, what's up, bro? It's Lush, bro. I don't know if you remember me. I'm ready to give my little preamble, trying to convince him, hey, we're not going to have this money. We're willing to work something out. We weren't aware of the contract that we signed. Christian's an idiot. I had this whole speech in my head, right? I don't even get half a sentence on it. I'm like, you may not remember me. He says, yeah, I remember you. You owe me $600 for a Killer Priest feature from fucking 2008. I'm like, awestruck, dumbfounded. I'm like, so taken aback, like, whoa. Like, not only now am I not able to finesse him, but I'm on the defense. You feel me? Like, he already has changed the dynamic. So not only am I not able to even ask him for a favor or ingratiate myself or try to use what rapport I think we have in my head based on knowing this guy, but he got me by the balls for a Killer Priest feature from 2008. You feel me? So the fact that he led off with that, I'm like, oh, fuck, this is going to be, I'm in for a long night. And so this is how it starts. And so we spent about 5 minutes arguing about the Killer Priest feature. Now, when I say arguing, it's kind of me trying to justify things and explain things and him having just a firm legal grasp of the way things work. And this is the business. This is the contract that was signed. Fuck whatever is going on back then. Beyond your outstanding debt to me, which we can get to later. You have this going on. And this is the contract that was signed on your company's behalf. And I'm like, look, we're not going to have the revenue. This isn't going to work. He's like, hey, man, take out a business loan, or we just going to take this $10K to the neck. It is what it is. You feel me? Like, so we wind up through weeks of perilous negotiation and, Shasta, Organic, and Avi, and whoever is on the King of the Dot side of things and negotiation. They wind up arriving at a figure, and everything's copacetic from that point on. But like at the time, I was like, fuck M80. This dude is janky. But in reality, he ain't doing nothing, Brian. He's just kind of following business protocol. Now, he might not have the same like cultural stake in it that I did, or understanding or care in it that I did, but it is what it is, and so wound up happening, and his client got what he needed. So WM80 ultimately, as far as that's gone.
Right. So did you know about all those things that he was talking about with Canibus trying to sneak out of Canada and getting arrested, and then his arm got broken, and like all the details of that situation?
Like, we're hearing little bits and tidbits and stories and like pieces of lore, but Canibus is such like a mysterious, enigmatic figure. It's kind of hard to know what's real and what's not. So we weren't sure. And I didn't really have too much dialogue with him prior, like from the time we had the little business discrepancy up until we're face to face at that moment of the battle when he's being introduced. I'm right next to the Dizaster. We didn't really have too much dialogue. You feel me? Like, actually, backstage, there's a cool moment. I wish it was on camera of me, him, and Super Nat freestyling. And I think I made Vitamin up right as well.
What was your reaction when you saw Canibus like pull out the notebook and basically admit to defeat? And as a fan, as a hip hop fan, like what was that moment like for you?
I mean, it's like it's devastating. It was like Santa Claus ain't real, but a part of me was it was kind of like mixed emotions because remember like how close I am to Dizaster. So I try to remain as impartial as possible in those moments, but this is like an empire that I'm building alongside my boy, for better or for worse. And so I'm kind of like, I understand the gravity of the moment and what it means for him and what this kind of potentially can do for him as a MC and a battle rapper. So I'm kind of like, a part of me is like feeling that excitement, but it's kind of like not like this. We kind of wanted to see like a brutal war that just where both of them, it's debated for centuries who has the doper verse and who's the better. And I think it would have been more impactful if he didn't do that. It became like a meme at a certain point. And although Dizaster had incredible material and he used the, you ain't got a on me shoulder to lean on, the way he was able to seamlessly weave his freestyles into his verses in such an expert way was not lost on anybody. But I feel like if Canibus had given him more of a fade, it would it would have hit different, It
would have been more of an impact for the culture, for sure. Like the talk of legendary stuff.
To us, it was so kind of crazy. Like seeing, this is I believe Hov had already, Jay-Z had already been like, I watch every Grind Time and Smack URL battle and but we're seeing in real time Busta Rhymes and Swizz Beats and, Royce the 5'9" and the real beacons of the culture and these icons debating it and talking about some shit that we did. And I don't know, we was just kind of getting used to it. Yeah, we had the Drake thing and that was amazing. But this kind of hit different because this was like a really big, like, cultural moment for hip hop, like beyond battle rap. It was like the trajectory of the culture,
And the crowd ended up turning on Canibus, like booing him while he was trying to rap the rest of his verses after that. And it was what was the energy like in the room at that time though, when that was happening?
I think a lot of people, like the majority of the people there were there to see Canibus. Like there was I would say it was a weird crowd to begin with. It was kind of a weird venue for battle rap. Also, all right, I think we read. I would say like the crowd was kind of, I'll say maybe 20 to 25% battle rap, maybe 60 to 70% hardcore Canibus aficionados, and the rest is like hip hop fans, maybe the remaining 10% or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so there was whoever signed up to an alias on CanibusCorp.com or whatever, like for show, was there. So a lot of them, this is them seeing their real life superhuman hero, the inventor of the infinite rhyme scheme, like the people that buy into levels of his lore that don't even fully make cognizant sense to, you know what I mean, like rational human beings. Those people are kind of confronted with the reality of, oh shit, what's up, bro? Like, this is crazy. This is happening. So it was heartbreaking for them. Yeah, it was an intense moment for sure. Watching like Superman and then like right in front of you, wanting to walk away and kind of like disappearing into the crowd, like the Homer Simpson, like into the hedge meme. Like, yeah, like we seen that in real time.
Can you tell us something about that situation that might not have been discussed publicly before? Like some behind the scenes like story or something like that?
There was I'll say this, like, so that right there was the height of the momentum of when the Fresh Coast movement had aligned with King of the Dot, and we had first gotten kind of started over there. But at the time, because of like how off-brand the business was and how like the discrepancies that we had as a result, it kind of made it so that we kind of had to restructure from day one. And at that moment, like Organic and them were kind of going to chop like the West Coast from King of the Dot. Like it was damn near going to be restructured. It wound up through like the Homie Aspect one and J Pro and Malathiad and then myself, like we wound up like restructuring it. But like there was a period of time where the amount of just financial strain and just that whole entire experience put on Organic and King of the Dot was overwhelming to the point where it was damn near like shut down all American endeavors.
Wow. So what is Canibus's energy and like after the battle?
I mean, like he's like, you know, he seemed like pretty chill. He was gracious. He was still like there taking pics with the as per my recollection. I spoke to him a couple of years back with Mikey D. Actually, he was super chill, and we were talking about potentially doing an interview, but it didn't. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't come to fruition as of yet. He's kind of not really in that phase of his career type shit. Right?
Got you.